Tony Abbott's visit to Melbourne was intended to shore up support in some of Victoria's marginal seats, and one of the most marginal also has a tragic recent past. McEwen takes in the areas most devastated in the 2009 bushfires. 173 people were killed and the fire destroyed the towns Kinglake and Marysville. It also happens to be an area in transition, moving from a rural to an urban population at an increasing pace. Hamish Fitzsimmons reports.
It's a common scene at the edges of many Australian cities, housing estates encroaching on farmland, and the issues concerning voters are as diverse as the electorate.
I would like to see some clear statement on the environment. Everyone appears to be dodging away from that at the moment.
I'd like, to see more stuff for the youth and also the high school. Like our high school is just coming up and going, and we don't have anything like TAFEs or any of that sort of stuff. So a lot of that in this area.
The candidates are well aware the winds of change may be blowing in McEwen.
There's 10,000 people have moved into McEwen since the last election. It's 4,500 homes. It's growing very rapidly. And so that brings on challenges of making sure you've got the infrastructure there, access to health, access to education.
It's a huge seat, McEwen. It's massive. You go from Matlock across to Macedon Wood End, Diamond Creek to Terrap. It's a huge area and a lot of different little communities and some big ones like your Wallen, your Diamond Creek, South Marine Mill Park. There's huge issues. With the new sprawling build-up areas coming up from the south, transport, what are the youth going to do?
Political observers believe the shift in population might just be enough to make the seat change hands.
McEwen looks like a rural seat, topographically. Most of its land area covers regional, rural areas of Victoria. But in fact, the thing that's really influencing the seat is the spillover of the northern suburbs of Melbourne. And of course, these are very strong Labor voting areas.
Labor's candidate Rob Mitchell knows how close McEwen can be. After the 2007 election, there were 5 recounts, which culminated in a High Court challenge, eventually returning the seat to the retiring member, the Liberals' Fran Bailey, by a mere 32 votes. The former state upper house member and Labor staffer believes the urbanisation of the seat will make the difference.
It was very close. I think people were very clear that they wanted a change. Traditionally, it's been before the election, it was classed as a marginally safe Liberal seat. We took that down to the narrowest margin in the country. So there was definitely a clear evidence that people wanted to change, and I'm really hoping that we don't go through that again.
The Liberal candidate Caine was born in the seat of McEwen and for the last 10 years has been a policeman in Kinglake, which bore the brunt of the Black Saturday bushfires. That day and its aftermath was a transformative time, and it was then he decided he wanted to serve the community on a broader scale. But he knows the challenges such a diverse seat poses.
5:30 on the 7th of Feb, went to work as Caine, the local policeman. Here I sit now as the candidate for McEwen for the Liberal Party. Changed my life completely.
Every last vote will count in McEwen, and last-minute enrolments like this could make the difference. Political scientist Nick Economou says seats like McEwen will be major battlegrounds across the country.
Covers an area that's a mixture of rural areas and, of course, growth corridors, suburban growth corridors. Labor's got a stack of these in New South Wales and Queensland as well. So if Labor wants to win the next election, it really ought to win McEwen.
Despite being a fast-growing urban area, there remains a strong rural economy in McEwen. The most notable aside from tourism is forestry. Locals like Timber Representative Scott Gentle say the two big earners for the region have coexisted in the area for more than a century.
We're really looking for leadership from government. We're just hoping they commit to the regional forest agreements, commit to science and, let the industry continue and hopefully, with changes to a few policy settings as regards to biomass, biofuel, there might be actually more potential for the industry to grow.
And with many yet to make up their minds, McEwen remains either side's for the taking.
I'm concerned about the health problems. I don't know whether the Gillard government are really going to do anything about it. Maybe the others won't either, but I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about the boat people.
Hamish Fitzsimmons, Late Line.